What's up, everybody? Viper here, back in Myth Survival. And as you can see, I built a cornfield. It is a total of 600 plants, 12 rows of 50 plants each. And way over there, I built a 210 plant tomato farm. I hid my truck inside just so you can see how big it is. You can't even see it. So let me take you down there and show you the field. So here we have the my cornfield, and if they put an NPC named Malachi in here, I don't know if I'll keep playing. So after my last farming video, I posted some pics up in Discord, and someone suggested I make a big cornfield. And at first I was like, nah, but then I was like, I wonder if it can be done. And well, this is my interpretation of a cornfield. Might try to eventually make it bigger, longer. But with the time it took to build this, I don't think I'm going to really mess with farming that much anymore. But I did learn a couple different little things about the watering method and the glitches with the plant furrows and having plants leach off other plants and steal their water. It was kind of a really big pain in the ass to be making this cornfield. Let me go show you the tomato field. Awesome tomato field. The tomato fields are pretty easy to make. It's just you put the furrows down, water them once, and then let them grow. You don't have to keep watering them or nothing. It's just, bam, they're done. So this was easy. I mean, I could probably build many more rows of tomatoes as long as I can, farm enough seeds for them. But the corn are really, it's a really whole lot easier to get the corn seeds than tomato seeds, where you're only getting 3 or 4 tomatoes seeds per plant from tomatoes, and corn you're getting, I don't know, I'll get 20 some corn seeds from a full grown plant. So the seeds on tomatoes just make it a little bit more difficult to make big plots. One thing I was able to figure out was exactly how much water corn actually needs in these furrows. I did a test when I was building this. I went through halfway, and then I was like, man, this is taking like half a day to water it. So I ended up testing how much water it needed, from 1 liter per plant all the way up to 5 liters. And I found out that you can get away with growing corn rather easily with 3 liters of water, 4 liters, and 5 liters of water per day. Best results was with 5 liters. And I was able to grow corn in 8 days, just like, getting it fully wet. 4 liters, it took 2 more days, 10 to 12 days for full grown corn. And then with 3 liters, it was 15, 16 days. But the big problem was those leach plants, and I'll go over that. One thing you're really going to have to consider when you're building a farm is how you're going to get water to it. I did a math, and it was like 30,000 liters of water to build this farm and the tomatoes down there. It averaged about 40 liters per corn plant, and then about 12 for the tomato plants. So that's a lot of water to have to move, even if you're building just a small farm. I don't like to use the watering barrels just because you put water into a can, and then you put it in the watering barrel, and that takes 2 to 4 minutes. You move the watering barrel, and then you spend another 2 to 4 minutes taking water out of the watering barrel. So it's kind of pointless. Where a whole inventory will hold like 6 watering barrels worth of water. So I'd rather just do this. And by the time you're actually worrying about building a farm at all, you probably have enough resources to be able to build some of these watering cans. I mean, you don't need a full inventory. But if you're going to be doing something large like this, you probably definitely want a full inventory. Just because it just takes so much water. But I'm not trying to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go completely in depth about how to farm and harvest and the planters and different stuff like that. I have a separate video. I'll put a link in the description if you're curious about that. It's a little more in depth about farming. But this is just the basics of what I learned when I was building this big farm. One thing you might experience when you're building long rows of furrows is these furrows that stay dark, and the plants around them are not growing. So like this one right here, it's not growing. Same with these two here. But what's happening is, I think, is this plant here is sucking up the water from next to it. So is this one. And it's not using the water that's actually in it. So to correct that, what you're going to have to do is end up watering the plants around it. Even if they're fully grown, just water the ones to the left or right of it. I usually just water both of them. And I'm not going to go with the 5-liter thing here. I'll actually completely water it. Like, I wasn't really running into that much of an issue when I was watering it fully. Like all the furrows fully. But when I stopped down to 5 liters per plant, that's when I started really running the issue of these leech plants, or whatever they are, parasitic plants. This glitch right here. But just to get around it is just keep watering the plants around it to the left or right of it. Sometimes you're going to run into the issue where even if you water both sides of the plant, the plants they're still not growing. Like, I continued watering this for 2 days after everything else was fully grown, and they just didn't seem to want to grow, so I just quit. I mean, I could harvest them and replant them, tear up the furrows, put the furrows down, but yeah, I'm not worried about it. 95% of the field's good, so I'm good. It took like 60 days to build this, so I'm content with how it is, except that one little spot that annoys me. If you're building small rows of corn, or just a few corn, you can avoid these leech plants by just putting a space in between your corn. But if you want nice straight rows, these leech plants are something you're gonna have to deal with. Hopefully this give you some idea of what's possible in farming and Myth Survival, and you can incorporate big fields, little fields into your builds when you're in your own world. I wouldn't suggest building a farm this size at one time, just because it's so boring and tedious trying to water this. Like, I was spending half a day watering it. Nope. So if you're going to build something, if you want a big field, you might want to build a few rows at a time, or just keep adding on and have a separate place to harvest seeds. And if you're going to harvest a bunch of seeds, it's good to have a place like a fence or something that you can get in and actually harvest them, so you don't have to worry about the mist and stuff like that. But the biggest thing I learned was the amount of water. And 5 liters of water per corn plant per day seems to work the best, as long as you don't have those stupid leech plants. And hopefully they'll fix that at some point in the patches, but who knows. In the next few days, I'll probably do a video on just all the glitches that are in the game right now with farming, and then post on Discord, so hopefully the developer will be able to fix some of these problems and make farming a whole lot easier, and maybe they'll add some kind of stews or something, because right now it's just basically decoration. You can't really use them for your chickens because the chickens don't lay eggs right now. But hopefully in 0.3.9 or whatever, they'll fix some of the problems. And that's supposed to come out pretty soon, but I don't know, who knows when. But I think I'm ending the video there, and thanks for watching, and I will catch y'all later.